The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content, secret contests, and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead.
It's our last public podcast.
Is that right?
All right, for the year, and then we'll be back, next week.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead, and looking back at 2020, and JP, I think it's safe to say this is a year I don't think many are going to ever forget.
Nah, man, it's had highs, it's had lows. Definitely one of the lows. The Walking Dead World Beyond. That was a pretty low point.
That was we had to deal with the coronavirus. We had to deal with everything just this year threw at us, and we were just so excited for this brand new show to come in and blow our minds, and it more like melted our minds.
Yeah, man. Most people look back at the bad things about 2020, the lockdowns, the economic crash, the deaths. I just keep thinking about having to sit through the World Beyond.
Yeah.
That's what really just killed the year for me.
It definitely was a low point in the Walking Dead expanded universe, but hopefully it's going to maybe pick up next season. At least give us some more information on, like, Rick Grimes. How hard is it during those stingers just to say Rick's name? You know what I mean? Like, if you would have just done that, I feel like we'd have been like, well, it sucks, but at least it's given us some insightful info.
I'd be fine for him to just open his eyes on the chopper, and that it's just been like, oh my God, what an awful dream.
I had this terrible dream about these annoying kids. One of them was kind of cute, but the rest of them were all annoying.
Just the boringest dream I've ever had. God in heaven.
Last time I had a dream, well, technically, if he's on the helicopter, it'd have been like a few minutes ago. I saw Shane and Herschel and Sasha, and this time I saw these annoying kids.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, no, the World Beyond, definitely not a high point for The Walking Dead in 2020. But the episodes that we got from the main Walking Dead show in 2020, I feel were pretty good.
Yeah, man. Solid season from The Walking Dead. Solid season from Fear the Walking Dead. So, yeah, plenty to be thankful for.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Fear the Walking Dead, too, man. I don't know why I didn't throw that out there at first. Yeah, no kidding. We had a complete turnaround for that show from, like, a bore fest last year to an absolutely, just hard not to watch show. I mean, it had an episode or two here or there that was kind of like, but still overall, I would describe this whole season thus far as really good.
Oh, solid season, man. Cowboy Morgan we got introduced to. Just I could have used a little bit more Victor Strand, but I mean,
who couldn't use a little bit more of me, JP?
Oh, I could use plenty more.
We'll get into it on Monday when we do more Walking Dead what ifs, but one of the what ifs is you versus me in a fight, but I have Victor Strand on my side.
Oh, what?
Yep. I don't want you, JP. Instead, I want to destroy you. Not in the way that you would like.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I was going to say he can pulverize me in several ways. But
no, sir, JP. No, sir. I'm going to pulverize you with this here hammer.
Oh, my God. Don't put me through that.
But yeah, The Walking Dead, as far as a year-end review, overall good, minus The World Beyond.
Yeah, dude. And lots of good stuff this year. I mean, The Mandalorian, awesome. The Boys. Great. Look at us on the same
We
page.
are on insane. We did not rehearse that.
No, we did not.
Yeah, The Boys was great. I think Umbrella Academy Season 2 came out this year. I actually really enjoyed that.
That was a good one. I'm saying, yeah, I didn't watch that, but I believe you.
This season of Yellowstone, I think, was really good. So, yeah, as far as TV and entertainment, I'm trying to think with movies. I mean, we had stuff released to streaming, but we didn't really get much of the theater experience in 2020.
I think the only movie I saw like post-lockdown or whatever was a Tenet, and that didn't make a damn bit of sense to me. Visually stunning. It was that the one about time travel that what's his name did, Christopher Nolan.
Oh yeah. I remember you coming back from that. You were really excited to see it, and you kind of came back from it just like, it won't bad, it won't good. It just kind of didn't get it.
I mean, it was like a smarter kind of Transformers movie. It was like I said, visually stunning, a lot of great action, but it just kind of jump from this to that to that. I can keep up with it.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. In the world of video games, we had Resident Evil 3 dropped, a very divided crowd on that. But, I'm in the camp that overall I very much enjoyed the experience. I do agree that they left out some very important parts, and I'm still baffled as to why. And the game itself was very short. It really shouldn't have been a $60 purchase. It should have been like a $30, $40 add-on at most. Mm-hmm. But with that said, I enjoyed it. We also had Last of Us 2 came out this year and divided big time. I mean, there are, review-wise, I think it did fantastic. But as far as among the fans, I think the fans were very divided, and I won't go into spoiler territory as to why, but a very divided camp there with that game. Still haven't played it yet. Plan to. Looking forward to. You had the Ghost of Tsushima. I think I'm saying that right. I've heard that game was just and I mean, when I say I've heard, I know I can't give my opinion on it, but I have had lots of friends that played it and said that it was visually amazing, just an all-around great game.
Right. Yeah. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I haven't played it, but it's a lot of fun to watch.
Heard nothing but good things about it.
It's a lot of fun to watch.
One of my closest friends has been playing it and said that he's just addicted, that it is just amazing so far. He has loved it. So, and then you had Call of Duty, Black Ops. Gosh, what would this be? Black Ops 4. Well, Black Ops Cold War. I forget the number. It's Black Ops Cold War came out. And as you can tell, I've been very behind. I've got a 1-year-old this year, so I haven't had as much time for video games as I would like. But, yeah, that from what I've talked to and gathered from my friends and reviews, fantastic story. Very divided on the multiplayer. The multiplayer, some people just think is whack. Some people enjoy it. I've heard more negative things about the multiplayer than I have heard positive from people that I know. But everybody has agreed the campaign for that game, the main story, is fantastic.
Yeah.
So lots of video games I need to jump on. It's crazy to think, like, when you look back, and that's just the tip of the iceberg at how many games came out this year. Those are some of the biggest ones of note. But it's, I mean, I guess if any year for a bunch of video games come out, this would have been the year.
Yeah, you would think like the video game companies would be just booming right now. Like you said, nothing but people with nothing to do. So
the PlayStation 5 hit the market and took it by storm. It hit when I say hit the market, it barely hit the market before it was completely gone. I plan to get one, but I'm not going to get one. I made a decision. I'm watching a bunch of friends run around like chickens with their heads cut off trying to get one. Like it's, almost like a addiction, It's like, gotta have it, I'm like, dude, I want one, and I'm going to buy one when I can walk right into like Best Buy or Walmart and say, I want to get a PS5.
Well, in the meantime, get yourself a Switch, man.
That is on my list. I love the Switch. I got a buddy who has one, and we play Mario Kart all the time, and we took it to the beach with us this year, and we were like doing retro gaming, playing like old Super Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario World and all of that. It was awesome.
I don't know that it came out in 2020, but I've been telling you, man, Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, dude. Oh my God, just everything I love about Mario in one game.
JP, of course, a little behind. We're sitting here talking about all these 2020 game releases, and JP is just now starting Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, I'm digging into that.
But good for you. I'm glad that you are finally getting into something more modern, which going forward might actually, because I've pushed for a while, I want to start doing some gaming on this channel. I don't want to become a gaming channel. I would just like to have, a couple of, gaming videos a month, which has always been hard because I play modern games. JP does not, which from me saying I hadn't played hardly any of those games that came out, it don't sound like it. But 2021, I'm going to play more. But now this makes it a little bit easier for JP and I to do some modern gaming.
Yeah, I'm getting into it, man. I'm enjoying it. I do have a little bit of a learning curve, but I'm liking it.
And you don't have a PS5 anymore, PS4 anymore, do you?
Yeah, we got both systems, the Xbox, the PS.
Nice. Well, we can connect online and do some PS4 stuff soon. So 2021, I definitely expect more, game. Again, I don't want to become a gaming channel. I just would like to have a gaming playlist to do a little bit of game.
Yeah, dude, I'm down for that. Hopefully, I'll stick with it. And
especially being that, like now that you're starting to learn the controls, some games we can actually join together and play.
Yeah, man. If I have time today, actually, I'm going to go by Walmart. They've got like a Switch controller, for when you play on TV. It's got the Mario.
I thought y'all's wouldn't connect to the TV.
No. She got the Animal Crossing package or whatever, and it connects to the TV.
So because I'm not as up on my switches. So normal, like the regular switch comes with the ability to hook up to the TV, right? And y'all had the Switch Lite, and is that the only difference? Is it doesn't just automatically hook up?
I guess I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I plan to. I definitely plan to get a Switch here in the next couple of weeks.
So much fun, man.
But and then also let's see, in 2020. Can't really talk much on the music scene because I can't think of many things that came out this year that I was digging, other than I loved Chris Cornell's cover of Patience, Guns N' Roses original.
I remember you telling me how much that
It's incredible. Also,
a lot of old country stars died, which ain't really worth discussing, but because they were, going to die anyway. They were a million years old.
Well, speaking of dying, I'll tell you the event that kicked off the terrible 2020, was Kobe Bryant passing away. Because I remember January of this year, hard to believe, like in a few weeks, this moment I'm talking about will have been a year ago. But we were in my basement. My girlfriend and her friend were down there. My daughter was down there, and I was playing Resident Evil 2 for like the millionth time because they had announced the Resident Evil 3 remake. So I just jumped back into Resident Evil 2 remake, and I was playing Claire's campaign, and I remember I was at the part where if you've played the game, you're familiar with it. Mr. X you're in the little elevator, and Mr. X catches up to it, and he tries to open it, and then a big thing happens that I won't spoil if you haven't played the game. If you haven't, you should definitely play Resident Evil 2 remake, even if you've never played Resident Evil ever. It almost could work as a standalone. It's fantastic. But anyways, I remember her going, Kobe Bryant died. And I was like, that's probably because they've had those plenty of times. Will Smith dies. It's those hoax websites, And I was like, no, I've seen those before. And she's like, no, this is from CNN. I'm like, what? So I pull up my phone and I Google, and it's just like everywhere. Kobe Bryant and his daughter died in a helicopter crash.
Do you still think it was the CIA?
No, I never thought it was the CIA.
Because he had the immunity gene for the coronavirus?
Oh, my God. Is that really a thing? Do people really think that?
I mean, he was kind of like, you mentioned Will Smith. He was kind of like a Will Smith character in a movie. Kind of like where he was the last dude on Earth, and he had the dog. But then
I Am Legend.
It's kind of like I Am Legend. But
is that a real conspiracy theory?
A lot of people think that. I don't know what the reason. I don't remember what the reasoning is. But yeah, some people think that he had inside knowledge or something like that.
Anytime a celebrity dies, and I'm not saying there might not be some relevance to some of them. I'm not, don't think I'm mocking them all. But anytime a celebrity dies, there's always these conspiracy theories.
Yeah, well,
be it Chester, Chris Cornell, Paul Walker, Kobe Bryant. There's always something, but I hadn't heard that one. That one's new. I know the Paul Walker one definitely had some weird, kind of things people had pointed out with it, for sure. But, I hadn't heard anything about the Kobe one.
Well, the stuff with Chris Cornell, man, like Anthony Bourdain, I definitely
Anthony Bourdain, there's another one, yeah.
I definitely think there's some credence to them with like the Ninth Circle. Where I definitely think the people involved in exposing child sex trafficking were, I definitely think there's something to those.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, what was it? I'm sure that if you dig back far enough, there's conspiracy theories about Buddy Holly.
Yeah, well, there have been celebrities who have been, recruited by the CIA. I forget the name of the movie, but it's like a game show host from the 70s. They made a movie about him with Sam Rockwell, how he was like working for the CIA or something. I forget the name of it.
I hadn't seen that. I'll have to check into that.
It was a good movie, man. I forget the name.
Yeah, I looking back at 2020, I keep wanting to say 2021, I guess because I'm just so ready to get out of this year, but what kind of changes happened in your life moving through 2020?
Who, me? I mean, just job stuff, I guess. I don't know. Everything's about the same. I went back to the grocery business, which was pretty cool. And I don't know, man. I'm just chugging along, baby. Well, I mean, the biggest thing, I guess, is your transition, which is kind of forcing my transition. Taking on a little bit more responsibility with the station and what have you. Yeah,
I'm going to part-time with the radio station. And if you're new and you just found this randomly floating on the internet, we work for a radio station, a company that owns multiple radio stations. And I've been the station manager here at these two for a long little while. And then I've been at this station for a decade and been with the company a little longer. And But now I've taken a job in a completely different industry.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be my full-time focus, and then the radio will be part-time. And not that I don't love. I mean, I think JP can definitely tell I'm struggling with leaving radio. It's not something I'm just like ready to get away from or excited or run. I just it's just one of those opportunities that fell into my lap, and if I don't do it, it's just everything from the benefits to the pay to
Money
the
talks, baby.
Work environment are just so good. It might be too good to be true, and we will find out as we get into 2021. I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be great, but either way, I'm still glad that I get to stay on with the radio station in a part-time capacity.
Yeah, man. It's the kind of job that's not going anywhere. We saw ourselves with the lockdowns, man. I mean, our company just about, disappeared.
And that's a radio station. That's the thing, man. With people, they complain about commercials or things like that. And, everybody, we both have done radio sales, and we both encounter the same problem. Everybody and their mama wants to be on the radio, but nobody thinks they should pay for it.
No.
It's like, I don't know if they think we get government funding, like we're PBS or something.
It'd be nice.
But no, every dollar that funds radio stations, at least most of them, comes from those advertisements that you sometimes, get irritated by because you want to get back to the music. That's how my salary's paid. That's how we pay JP. That's how we keep the lights on, keep our FCC licensing. It's a lot to it, and so in regard, I love sales, but I am glad to be moving into a sales position where I'm selling something people are already wanting versus, radio. You have to go convince someone that they need radio advertising.
Yeah, I mean, what you're moving into now, it's not just that they want it. I mean, it's a necessity. It's something pretty much everyone needs.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
so it's gonna be a new frontier. But yeah, no, we didn't. We came out fine, but we definitely went through some turbulence during the 2020 lockdowns as well.
We'll see what happens going forward. What's your prerogative? You think things are going to get better as the new year progresses?
I'm optimistic. I hope they will.
I'm very pessimistic. I think it's going to get worse and worse.
Well, if you're always pessimistic, you never get disappointed.
That's true. But no, man, I think we're, I don't know. I think we're going into some uncharted waters, and not necessarily for the better.
And you could be right. I might just be optimistic because it's a new job, a new year. I might just be, in a more upbeat state of mind because of the good things. But it definitely could be. And speaking of looking back on 2020, President Trump, one of the first presidents since I think Bush Sr. in my lifetime, or at least, in the majority of my lifetime, every president has had 2 terms.
Yeah.
Minus Bush Sr., because Bush Sr. only did 1 term and then lost to Bill Clinton, right? And Bill Clinton had 2 terms.
Right. And I don't even remember, the Bush years. I mean, the first president I remember being aware of was definitely Clinton.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's because Eminem talked about him.
That was a big part of it, yeah.
But, so it's like in my lifetime, at least the vast majority of my lifetime, you had Bush Sr. 1 term, but then it was Bill Clinton 2 terms, and then it was George W. Bush 2 terms, and it was Barack Obama 2 terms, and then President Trump only gets 1 term and is unseated by Joe Biden.
Assuming there's not a last-minute Hail Mary.
There's still some folks out there that think that there is something big coming from the Trump camp, but it's not looking very good for them when most of his people are telling them to go ahead and just admit defeat.
Yeah, man.
Just concede.
It's. I mean, that's a whole nother podcast into itself. But it's some crazy. It almost is like we're living in an altered reality right now.
Man, we might be.
I mean, yeah. I mean, who knows what to trust? I don't know.
Oh yeah. I'm just hoping we don't have to go through too many more lockdowns, because I know that sometimes when you say things like that, some of the people, because you got you've got 2 camps with the coronavirus and all of this. You got, the one camp is, no masks and, don't do the lockdowns and all of that. Then one camp is like, you should always wear a mask and do whatever needs to be done.
Right.
And, so I think people like you and I kind of, well, I don't want to say what you feel, but I mean, I know I fall somewhere in the middle in the sense of, I've said it before, I don't mind wearing my mask. But at the same time, being in sales and business and dealing with other businesses for a living, I mean, those lockdowns have crippled. I mean, one of my favorite restaurants in our town. Remember yesterday, I was just talking to the owner about getting them back on the air and all of this. And she's, like, oh, we closed yesterday. Like, for good? Oh, yeah. We've seen several businesses just have to close their doors.
Yeah, a little bar and grill that's been open since I was a little kid went under. A restaurant, much like the one running with you, has ran with me for years, and they're struggling to stay afloat. Honestly, man, like I really believe that that the lockdowns and the mask and stuff is just slow inundation to kind of turn us into just like a welfare slave state kind of thing. But at the same time, I'm the first to say I'm no expert in epidemiology or any of that stuff, so it's not the hill I'm going to die on. I'm not taking a hard stand on masks or no masks.
Right, and that's kind of, yeah, but I am. I'm not an expert in it.
Yeah,
so.
But deep down, dude, I really do think there's sinister motives behind all this stuff that's going on.
It's the government, and if there's,
quarantine. Well, not just the government. I mean, worldwide, dude, when something like that starts in China, and I'm not talking about the virus or its origin, just when we start, kind of when the world starts emulating the same protocols from like a communist dictator state, it kind of makes you wonder,
Yeah, I could understand the concern.
But again, I'm not taking a hard stand because I'm no kind of medical expert, so it may 100% all that stuff be totally necessary. I don't know.
Well, and I mean, like I said, back to the businesses, I mean, we've seen it. We've had customers and clients closed down. I don't think our stations would have survived without the PPE or PPP or whatever that was. I didn't have to handle that part. The owner did. But, yeah, no, I mean, And with the second round, how is that? So Mitch McConnell shot down the $2,000 stimulus check yesterday, I'm told.
I thought that's how it went. I don't know, man.
He looks like someone that always needs to blow his nose. Like, you remember the guy? You remember on Rick and Morty with the toxic episode where before they go into the chamber, there's that guy that talks like this, and then like Rick goes off and is like, Jesus Christ, what's in the back of your throat, man? Go blow your nose.
Yeah.
Like, that is what Mitch McConnell reminds me of. But from what I've been told, that got shot down. Even President Trump urging Republicans to sign the damn bill that, people need it, and a lot of folks not happy to find that, people outside of the United States are getting higher grants than they're willing to give their own people. So it's just kind of a shit show right now.
Yeah, man. I'm very curious if it's accurate that more money is going to foreign aid than is actually going to the American people. Because, most of the time when money gets sent overseas for this foreign aid, it's basically like money laundering, that these politicians that sign these bills and all this stuff, it gets funneled back to them. And that's why you see, an average politician's probably making less than $100,000 a year just based off their salary, but most of them are multimillionaires. I mean,
I always do wonder that. I mean, I know, like, when it comes to things, and I mean, I'm not going to get into all of that, but I know it's like with some. I remember one time Obama, it was worth like $10 million at one point or something, and I'm like,
how had a super big book deal.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And I wasn't one of these conspiracy theorists, but I just remember genuinely asking, like, I wonder how a president, that's not a millionaire, they make like what, 400 and something grand a year.
That sounds right. Yeah.
How do they become millionaires? And then, my buddy pointed out, was like, well, like Barack Obama, for example, he got a crazy book deal, and I was like, you know what, yes, he did. I didn't even think about that. And I'm sure he made, they paid him a ton of money for that. So that makes sense. And then, once $400 and something thousand is not a bad living. So, I mean, you could definitely probably invest it in some stuff and, put it out there. So,
and a lot of politicians before they get elected are like very successful lawyers. And I'm sure a lot of them have side hustles and family money. But there's a lot of dirty money that gets sent overseas, and gets washed, as they say, and comes back and stuffs the pockets of people in Washington. I mean,
I'll tell you, that's one thing I've learned in my adult years. Almost everybody that I know that is very successful and wealthy, I don't, like, some people look at, and I don't, when I say wealthy, I'm talking like local wealthy. I'm not talking about like your Jeff Bezos or whatever, like your Donald Trumps. I'm talking about like they're doing good around here. Maybe they have $1 million, but they're not sitting here just absolutely, living the yacht life, but they do good for themselves. I have respect for it, and I don't at all feel jealousy. In fact, it inspires me because they all have multiple hustles. Remember when we did that concert series? It was September of 2019. Remember, ended up having a terrible turnout.
Rock
All that.
Fest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that put that on, I won't say his name, but, the guy that put that on, I mean, it was clear he's a very wealthy man. I mean, he had, has that razor and put like couple 100,000 into this concert, and he had that big decked out excursion. Just definitely someone that has a lot of money. Now he owns a little airplane. He's been on Facebook posting pictures of flying.
Yeah,
but when you look at him, I'm like, he owns a production company. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Jesus, you make that much money off production? And it's like, no, he also does real estate. He also flips properties. Like, he's a busy man, you know what I mean? But he's successful because he's got like 7 different side hustles he works on.
That's what you got to do, man. You'll never get ahead until you're making money for you, not for somebody else. And that's where I'd like to get, but you also have to be very self-motivated, which I'm not.
That's where I'm trying to get, man. I got the radio thing going, the podcast, the new job. I'm just trying to get, get as many hustles as I can. Yes, especially in times like this.
Oh,
you can get a side hustle, man. Freaking take it.
And that's why it's so great that you're going into the industry you're going into, because like we've been saying, it ain't going nowhere,
Mm-mm.
Whereas small local radio, that could be a thing of the past if things keep going the way they're going.
And
I don't want to see that'd be awful, but
yeah. And like I said, I love radio. That's why I decided to stay on part-time. I mean, I think I would be fine, if I didn't stay part-time. I don't think I need the money desperately, but at the same time, I just love radio, and it's just it's hard to get away from. I mean, but now the cool thing is I get to do the funnest parts of radio without having to do the stressful parts of radio.
Yeah.
I don't have to deal with sales and pitches and meetings and all of that, and because radio sales is hard.
It's very hard. It's very stressful.
Because I'll tell you, every business needs advertising. I mean, every successful business out there needs advertising.
Got to have a presence, yeah.
And then,
presence out there.
Local radio is a big deal. You need to, if you are a local small, it's one of those things where if you're like a big chain, you need to be on all the big stations. But I mean, even if you're just a small little local restaurant, you need to be on your local radio station. I mean, you just need to get people just thinking you're just singing your jingle in their head, all of that. But the thing is, it's hard to convince people of that. And then I don't blame them, especially in times like this. Imagine trying to sell advertising to a business that's telling you it's everything they can do not to close the doors.
Yeah, man, there's more competition than ever, too. Online stuff, social media. I mean, the pond is getting bigger and bigger as far as how many people are fishing in it.
Oh, yeah. You're exactly right. Yeah.
Smaller.
You're exactly right.
You can fix that metaphor, but yeah, it's getting tough.
Digital's one of the hardest things to compete with because it's like you can advertise on Facebook. And it's not that expensive, and you can see your results, you know what I mean? And everybody's on Facebook. I think my resolution going into 2021 is to do less social media. I mean, aside from the podcast stuff, but just because Facebook's downright depressing. I get on there and watch friends rip each other apart, spouting bullshit from both ends, both arguing about a subject that neither one knows anything about. I've seen lifelong friends straight up like, just go at it and delete each other and just get into like, I don't know, man. It's ugly. I'm not going to get rid of Facebook, but I really want to maybe like you did, delete the app and just don't check it that often.
Yeah, dude. It's done wonders for my mental health.
Yeah, and Instagram. I don't mind Instagram as bad because it's just pictures. So I mean, I don't mind seeing pictures from people's journey. And I've got some interesting people on Instagram, so I see some really cool shots. So Instagram really doesn't bum me out.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get my Instagram going as like a toy channel, like unboxing and stuff. Like I was showing you, a buddy of mine for Christmas gave me the old flip head Ninja Turtles. Like
that's so badass. Yeah.
Yeah, Bebop and Rocksteady, where they transform from their mutant form to human form. I want to start doing little videos and stuff on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely want to do. We didn't get to do an unboxing this month. For your, did you get that?
It came in like the day after. I don't know, whatever like our day off was. It came like the day we weren't here or whatever, or like that night or something. It might have been It might have been Christmas Eve. It came in.
But once things get like next month, we'll be able to do an unboxing. Even if we're not in the same building, we can still do a video chat unboxing type deal. So that's we'll definitely do that. And that's another resolution of our channel. I was telling our pal Seth Scott, him and his friend Tommy Gunn were cool enough to stop by the studio Monday and chill for a little while. Brought us homemade Negan baseball bats, which I have sitting on top of my shelf, proudly displaying. But, it's going into 2021. We've been saying it for the last year or two, but 2021 is the year. I've set up a home studio. We're going to set up a home studio for JP. We will have, I'm hoping eventually all of our podcasts will be video podcasts.
Yeah, dude, I'd like to do some out and about stuff, man. Speaking of toys, one of my favorite toy channels, Laura Legends, she actually did one. She's in Canada, and they still have Toys R Us in Canada.
Oh,
and she did like a video, like going in there and looking at all the new stuff, and I was just like, God, let's take a trip to Canada.
Well, I'll tell you what we should do. We were talking about taking a trip up to Roanoke, Virginia, to see our friend Seth, and they have a lot of toy shops. We should video some of that.
I'd be down, man. I'd be down with it.
We wanted to do a lot of video content for the Patreon, and when we first started the Patreon, it was like a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago.
Sounds right.
And we had been going to this graveyard because JP and I are just odd like that. We both enjoy old things, and we love like old cemeteries. And we just kind of took a lunch one day because I had never been to this town's big cemetery, and JP gave me a tour. And
yeah, we were doing like cold calls, and we just kind of ventured off of like Main Street. And I was like, because this cemetery goes back to the Civil War, and like I've been like staking it out since high school because they say that's where some Confederate treasure's buried.
Yeah, so like we found some weird voodoo stuff.
Yeah, weird stuff.
on these graves, and so we then it was just as simple as JP recorded it on his phone and uploaded it straight to Patreon, and then next thing you know, you had to get a Vimeo account. But I'm going to set us up a Vimeo account and try to figure out how to hook that up to the Patreon.
Yeah, I failed because I'd set up the account for whatever. I just couldn't figure out how to get it from one to the other. So.
I think we recorded something and tried to upload it, and it wouldn't go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely plan to do more video podcasts in the new year. And I'm excited for The Walking Dead to come back. We're going to have 6 episodes to review. Definitely going to have JP down at the man cave for at least one of those, hopefully a premiere or finale. And
yeah, dude, I'm looking for once I get the date for the premiere, I'm definitely going to take off for that.
We're going to eat some pizza and drink some beer and chill with our listeners. I'd like to do a watch party. Now, I know you can't do a watch party. I don't think you could air it, but I mean, like, maybe just like a watch with us type thing. But either way, we'll definitely be live before and after.
Right.
Which then again, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't watch with because I say a lot of bad words.
Yeah, and that kind of take me out of the show too.
Yeah, I'd be more focused on like reading comments and stuff than I would be watching the episode. So we'll definitely do like a live stream leading up to it. We'll be all pizzaed out and drinking some beer, and then we'll definitely come and do a live after. So the premiere, hopefully, is where we'll do that. Well, premiere, I say, but I mean the first of the 6 episodes.
Yeah, I keep forgetting it's really not the launch of the new season. It's just kind of like bonus stuff.
Like wrapping up the 10th season a little bit more.
Yeah. So, but either way, I'm stoked for it.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I did see somewhere on Facebook, now how true this is, I don't know, but it said the word confirmed under it, which still might not mean anything, but that Negan is supposedly confirmed for season 11. A lot of us, myself included, were worried they were going to follow the comic book story arc with Negan. Spoilers if you don't want to hear that. But, Negan just kind of disappears. Yep. He just kind of rides off into the sunset. And like you said, we really don't hear from him again. We see his house a time or two, and that's pretty much it. And then like you had Negan Lives, which by the way is something that happened in 2020 that was really cool. Robert Kirkman did, because he wrote that and then they published it and it sent out, and comic shops got to keep 100% of proceeds from.
They did, yeah.
So that was a completely free thing that he did. It gave the fans something they wanted, catching up with Negan, what's he up to. And it also helped comic shops because, those were flying off the shelves.
Yeah, dude. And hopefully it's going to help launch a cool Negan, TV series, which I don't think there's any reports of that, but hopefully it'll happen.
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, I'm excited about where The Walking Dead's going to go. I'm optimistic. I'm not saying I think everything's going to be okay, but I am hoping it is going to be that 2021 is going to be a better year.
Time will tell, man. I hope so too, but time will tell. And I kind of want to live in a dystopia. I don't know.
Everybody wants
Not
to live.
really.
Everybody wants to live in the apocalypse until the
Until you get
apocalypse
there,
happens.
Yeah, and you have to wipe your ass with leaves and stuff.
Well, like Negan, where he's like, what was it? Where he ate those beans, canned something, and then the next panel is him taking a shit, and he's like, "Damn, canned beans or something."
Man. We'll see what it brings.
But yeah, I whenever somebody's like, "Oh man, I wish we could have a real zombie apocalypse," I'm like, you realize in order for that to happen, that means probably everyone you love and care about is going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, because if it's a very highly, number one, in order to be an actual zombie apocalypse, it has to be a very, very contagious infection. I mean, it might even need to be airborne, you know?
Yeah.
So that means that even if you survive, which you might and probably won't, even if you did survive to the point where everyone was wiped out and there were just zombies, that means that most likely all of your closest friends and family that you just can't live without, they're dead and trying to eat you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It's fun to fantasize about, absolutely, but it's now any other dystopian future sounds like fun.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be fun or not, but I don't know. At least we see that,
I think everybody has this urge to just like live off the land, at least for a little while. You know what I mean? Like, because I think the way you feel about dystopian, like, it'd be cool to live in a dystopian future is kind of the way I think it would be cool to just go live in the woods for a little while, like have a simple life, like build a little cabin, farm, grow your own crops and slaughter your own meat. Just have, just live be self-sustaining for like a while.
If I'd have, one final thought on that, not that it has to be the final thought, but if I could clarify, I don't want to live in a dystopian future. I just want to be able to say, I told you so. I told you it was all coming down. I told you they was up to no good. That's basically what I want. And then I don't want to actually live in Orwell's 1984.
No, I don't think many people really do.
I think that's where we're heading.
Think about it. I've a lot of people thinking that. So be vigilant.
Do it. Think for yourself.
Oh, always think for yourself.
Or let us do the thinking for you.
Yeah, think for yourself, or let JP do the thinking for you.
God, that would be awful.
He's been trying to do the thinking for me for a few years, and then there are things that I'll say, and I'm like, damn it, JP, get out of my head.
Snuck in there.
But cheers to a new year of podcasting. Cheers to a new year of life. Hopefully everybody is going to have a better 2021, and, we'll either way, up or down, we'll be here for the ride.
Yeah, man, unless we get deplatformed or something. We'll be here. I
could see that happening.
Yeah.
But we appreciate the love and support so much. We love you all more than you could know, and we hope you all have a wonderful and safe New Year's. I hate to sound like your dad here, but I am getting older. Please be safe on New Year's, man. If you want to go out and party, just be smart. Like, get a ride. Do what I do. If I'm at a friend's house and I've had too much to drink and I really don't feel like going home, but I really don't feel like asking, can I stay? I just go fall asleep on the couch.
Absolutely.
And they usually just, other than maybe waking up with a couple of dicks drawn on your face, you're fine. Yeah. I'd rather wake up with a dick drawn on my face than to not wake up or to hurt. Think of somebody else, too. I mean, I ain't done preaching, but just, remember when you get out on the road highly intoxicated, it's not even, forget you for a second. It's you're putting everyone else's lives in jeopardy. So, I mean, believe me, I'm going to be wasty pants on New Year's Eve. I always say I'm not going to get as drunk this New Year's, and then I don't remember. Like, I last 5 New Year's, I don't remember most of the night. Probably going to be the case this year, but just make sure you got a ride.
And a helpful hint, a great way to sober up is cocaine. It'll have you sharper. It'll just nullify the effects of that alcohol.
I don't know about it.
I don't know if that's going to stand up in court when you've got, the DUI charge and the drunk in public and all that, but yeah, it's a
just
great
tell them Jpslim sent you.
Tell them JP told you to do some cocaine. It would nullify the alcohol, and you'll be all right.
But everybody be safe. We love you so much, and we'll see you next year. We'll see you soon. Patrons, we will see you one more time before next year.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Yep. But in the meantime, I'm Justin.
I'm JP.
And we're the Podcasting Dead.